welcome to another edition of Adventures with Otis. And this morning we're in central Glasgow, just alongside the Kelton building here, at the end of South Portland Street, and at the end of this gorgeous suspension bridge. This is the Portland Street suspension bridge. We're going to follow the rest of the bridges downstream, right the way to the Scottish Exhibition Centre and the Glasgow Science Centre. So here we are at number 10. We're going to follow it from the South Portland Street suspension bridge, past Glasgow Bridge, then the very first Caledonian Railway Bridge, which closed in 1966, and then the second Caledonian Railway Bridge, which is the current bridge feeding into Central Station. Then you've got the new IFSD Traystone Bridge, which is commonly known here as the Squiggly Bridge. Then down to Kingston Bridge, across the Clyde Arc, which is the Squinty Bridge, and then to Bell's Bridge and onto the Millennium Bridge. Fantastic. And thank you, Scotland, for this wonderful plaque here with all the bridges on, giving us a good insight on where we're heading. And from here in the distance, you can just about make out Central Station. It's just the other side of Glasgow Bridge and the very first Caledonian Railway Bridge. But first of all, we're going to cross over the Clyde via this gorgeous suspension bridge. And the sun is beautiful this morning, peering down over the River Clyde. What more could we want? You have a little skittle. Come on then, Otis. We're very lucky today to have sunshine. The last couple of days has been really miserable, and well, yesterday it was impossible to make a video. So yes, we're lucky to have today, and here we are in the centre of Glasgow. Good morning, Mr. Seagull. We're not over here at our usual time either. It is currently 6:30. What a beautiful bridge indeed. Just wondering if there's a plaque or something at the end of this with some information and dates and stuff, because what a wonderful bridge it is. It just shows the Clyde Trail. Here we are, 1853. This is the Glasgow South Portland Suspension Bridge by George Martin and Alexandra Kirkland. Landmarks. Brilliant. 1853. That's why I was after Otis, a date. Good boy. Come on. We're going to head downstream. This is this way. And you can see the many train lines, railway lines travelling across the bridge. I think there's 6 sets of lights up there, indicating 6 sets. There's actually seven sets of lights. So does that mean that there are 7? Look at this. There must be 7 lines crossing over that Caledonian Railway Bridge. Otis, please slow down a bit. He's so eager. And a lovely bit of blue sky in the sky now. Fantastic. Look at the beautiful bridge. Absolutely. I've said that so many times. I'll be wearing it out. And we'll follow the Clyde. Okay, Otis? It's a shame I haven't got your retractable lead with me today, because it's difficult getting you in the picture along with the scenery. Let me see if I can relax this lead a little bit more. There you go. That's a good boy. There's just constant traffic here of trains coming into the central station. Absolutely. And it's better to die on your feet than live forever on your knees. And here we are going underneath Glasgow Bridge. One thing I have noticed along here is the smell of sea. It smells, yeah, you could smell the seaweed and the plankton that's washed up, because it's a very fast tidal river here. When you get the inrush from the Firth of the Clyde, it certainly travels all the way inland. And another plaque here. What's this? This is the 1936 to 1939 plaque for the blockade runners to Spain. I had a ship, said the captain, the ship that sailed for Spain, and when I got another ship, I'll sail there once again. And here we are, looking across at the very first Caledonian Railway Bridge, which was out of action from 1966. And here is the massive central line coming in and out of Glasgow. Absolutely massive. I wouldn't be surprised there must be 8 or 9 lines above us actually. Look at the size of this. The span is phenomenal. Otis taking in the local delights. Morning. Come on, Otis. Oh, he finds the Glaswegian dogs a little bit scary. This way, Otis. However, I think the first plan is to cross over the George V bridge. Just look at the size of that. Listen to the rumble of the railway above. And here we are, George V bridge. And we'll head across. Central line, Caledonian Bridge. And if you look up there, you see the gantries. It actually says H. So that's 8, isn't it? Wow! Absolutely phenomenal. And this was a memorial stone laid by Her Majesty King George, the 12th of July, 1927. Oh, it looks like this bridge is a one-way bridge. So after this black car, I think, Otis, we can cross. What a beautiful morning it is, absolutely. And look at the view straight down the Clyde. That's the next bridge we're going to cross. It's the Squiggly Bridge. think this is Route 75, I guess. Route 756. Okay, the beautiful sunrise coming over the top. We'll follow the riverbank, walk along here as well, opposite the riverboat. And you got a real combination of architectural buildings from the turn of the 20th century and the turn of the 21st century all together in one group. Absolutely beautiful. On the left here we've got Barclays Central, which is the main headquarters for the Scottish division of Barclays Bank. We're going to continue our wander along the footpath. And there's a very unusual bridge coming up. This was the tradesman's bridge, which I think has been opened and closed a couple times due to structure faults. Open today though, which is good. It's a very strange shaped bridge. It's almost like a roller coaster, twisting and turning. And see if we can get a good proportional view of it, showing how it twists. Okay, Otis. Otis is on the scent. What are we following, Otis? Good boy. As we travel across the bridge, I'll pan around and you'll get a good shot of the hydro, the Finniston crane and the armadillo. There we are, right in the centre of the bridge. There's the great Finniston crane. Apart from Clyde, yep, from the Clyde port days of when it was all full of industry all the way along the river. Shipbuilding, and not just shipyards though, there was a lot of export and import going on here as well. That's the hydro building you can just make out, and alongside it you've got the armadillo, which is the SEC, and we're going to head straight downstream past the BBC building and the STV building. That's a good boy. Okay, Otis, good boy. There we go. Just giving Otis a little bit of freedom around here. Just checked it out, and there's not a lot of people down here. And there's a nice bit of grassland for him to run around. Otis, come on, have a little run around here. Stretch your legs. Been pounding the pavement for a little while. Good to get a run around on some grass. It's a good boy. So we've got the great old city of Glasgow in the centre opposite us, and the Squinty Bridge in the foreground. And then a great view there of Finnegan's crane. Was it Finniston's crane, sorry. And looking over at the armadillo and the hydro. This is what Otis needed, a little bit of a stretch. Oh, and in the background, you can't really see it on camera. I can see the aeroplanes flying across the Clyde, taking off from the Glasgow airport. That's a good boy. Have you got a stick? Have you got a stick? Well done. Oh, stick and a lead. Right, Otis, come. It's a good boy. Good boy. That's a good boy. Come here then. You up for a treat? What's Daddy got? I got a treat for you. Come here. Hey, look what I got. You got to play, are you? Realised the last 10-15 minutes we haven't been recording, but we're opposite the Crown Plaza, alongside the Armadillo, just past the Bells Bridge, and we've walked since the last take past the STV building and the Premier Inn, and now we're at the Colossus BBC Scotland building, absolutely phenomenal size. And next in line we have the Science Museum, and we're going to head down towards the Millennium Bridge. And some lovely news boards of the day. Okay, I think this being one of the major cycle routes in Scotland takes on these notice boards. We're going to continue on this side for just a little while, just to take in the Science Museum and its plaques, and then we'll head over this amazing bridge and head over towards the Riverside Museum and the tall ship. There we are, we're just taking a few of these boards to see what sort of information they have. So this is all about images of research and forging a sustainable future. And this one's all about purging pollutants and journey through homelessness and hope. And then we have the impact of unseen waves. Yes, look at all those 3G masts. Wonder what they're doing. And map, track and attack and act. Take my breath away. River of Dreams. Yes, not very nice indeed. Those people in the third world countries haven't put up with that sort of stuff. Forming new impressions. Loss of my navigator. Defeating the balloon. Or even deflating the balloon. And transforming industrial wastelands, which they've done an amazing job of all the way along the canal. Securing the ever-connected world, and fishers' rights and human rights. And then along to the future, and above, looking at the robot watches with dismay as an asteroid crashes into Earth. Here we go. And images of research. Okay, well here's the Science Museum. You can just about make out quite a lot of the functions going on inside. And that almighty tower, which I believe is closed at the moment. That might be worthwhile a walk. And this is where the Clyde steamers used to land, along this bank, and the Waverley and the Balmoral are both out and about at the moment, or you would find them moored up here. Actually the Balmoral is over at Bristol being refurbed, but the Waverley is out and about down the River Clyde and the Firth of Clyde estuaries. I believe it's going to make its way right the way around the southwest coast of Britain and even down to Wales, which will be amazing. We might be able to get to see it sometime down towards Tenby maybe. Okay, Otis, we're on the final leg of the journey, Otis. We can get home, well, get back to the camper van. You can get some food and some drink. There we are, it's 12 minutes away. And here we are on the Millennium Bridge. And the Riverside Museum with its tall ship, you can see just in the distance, is our target. And final look upstream and over Glasgow. Otis, stay this side. He's a good boy. There's lots of people on their push bikes cycling back and forth here, just looking at their mobile phones. Oh, I'm surprised they don't go head over heels. And here we are on cycle route number 7. There's a great view overlooking the Science Museum, and there's also a steamboat parked up there. Okay, as we go further upstream, we'll be able to see, or rather farther downstream, and you see how much the Clyde opens up along here. This way, Otis. Good boy. And you can see the lines here that we're following. The iron lines, well, these are the railway tracks for the cranes, actually crane tracks. Yeah, so the cranes would have been able to be positioned anywhere along this line. And there would be many big berthas, very similar to the one you saw at Finniston. It's funny seeing a steamboat there. It looks like it's part of the museum piece over at the Science Centre. I thought that would have been over at the Maritime Centre or the Riverside Centre where we're heading now. One other thing, the museums in Glasgow are free. So if you're popping down, you can get into the Science Museum and the Riverside Centre for free. Their opening times are from 10 o'clock till 4 o'clock. And if I have a chance, I might even pop in there sometime today. And I'm just zooming in. I'm sure that says the Queen Mary. Can't quite focus on it. It does, it's the Queen Mary. TS Queen Mary. Okie dokie. Learn something new every day, Otis. So in Newport we used to have the white funnel liners which travelled across from Newport to West-sur-Mer, and here had the distinctive amber and black funnels, and all the Clyde liners had that at the time. And here's the end of the railway track for the cranes. Well, this is end of the line for this section. We're just going to follow the cycle route a little bit further on and rejoin it at the riverside. Okay, Otis? And next in front of us we have the distillery, which was built in 1877. So many bikes here walking along the footpath. It's a very busy morning, but it is a joint cycle path with people, but unfortunately it's not very wide. Okay, I think we'll walk down this part of the grass field, give yourself a rest from the pavements again for a bit. This is the Clyde side distillery, which is closed at the moment because it's so early. And just through the glass there you can see the stills brewing that beautiful whiskey. Okay, Otis, let's continue down to the riverside. We got to join the Manic joint cycleway and pedestrian way, which I think is absolutely ridiculous because there's plenty of room to have a separate path. And Otis is in agreement with me. There we go. We are 9 minutes away from the Riverside Museum. Otis is just going to take a wee drink of Scottish rainwater. Okay, well, I'm going to pause the video again. We've done this quite a few times on this walk, otherwise it would be hours and hours long. Otis, right there. And here we are, coming up to the Riverside Centre now. Lots of work going on along the riverbank, hence why we've had to walk inland and right the way around. But we're here now, and we'll take a little walk around the outside and have a look at the tall ship. And then we'll sign off for the day. That's a good boy. This way. We can go across the grass. Looks like they got some form of fairground going on in front of the museum. I think first of all though we'll head over and have a look at the tall ship. And from here you can see the builders at work. They've certainly got a lot to do. Finishing off the Clyde footpath, or trail it's actually called. Now I believe this tall ship is called the Glenlee. We'll soon find out as we get nearer. This is where the fire brigade also depart. This is their ramps for their fire ships. Just a few shots of the plaques on the way around. The key to the world. Okay, Otis, we'll continue walking around. Good boy. Yeah, I bet you're tired now. Good boy, we'll get you a drink. Morning. Oh, and look at that beautiful view. Looking upstream, past all the bridges, into Glasgow city centre. Picturesque view it is. And we're going to pan around now, have a little look at the Glenlee and the Riverside Museum. En route, we'll taking some of the plaques. This one's showing history and the industry of the Clyde. So the view of the Clyde has changed dramatically over the past 50 years. The Queen's Dock has been filled in and is now the location of the Armadillo, the SEC, where the Prince's Dock once now sits the Science Museum. The ships are all gone, along with the busy docks, but the new buildings and industries now line the riverbank. Look through this window to see how communications, entertainment, heritage and tourism have brought back the life of the Clyde. Well, I must say, it certainly looks wonderful today. And here are some pictures of then and now. A little bit of a timeline here. So the SSE Hydro opened in 2013. The Queen's Dock Pump House was built in 1873, which is now the home of the Clyde Maritime Trust. The Clyde Auditorium opened in 1997. 2006, the Squinty Bridge opened, aka the Finnieston Bridge, which is also the Clyde Arc. BBC Scotland opened in 2007 with Chipperfield Architects designing it. I was thinking of David Copperfield, the TV producer. Okay, and then you got the IMAX Cinema in 2000 and Glasgow Tower in 2001. We'll just have a little look here at some of the other plaques showing dock life. Between 1947 onwards, the steamship sailed from Glasgow to more than 250 ports throughout the whole world. And here is the beautiful tall ship, the Glenlee. Indeed, she's definitely a tall ship. Is that right, Otis? It is. So we'll have a little look over this side now at the Glenlee and the signs. And we may go and visit the Riverside Museum a bit later on. Unfortunately, I won't be able to take you with me because the cameras aren't allowed inside. But this is the south entrance to the Riverside Museum. I can just about make out some things inside, but too much for reflection today. Grand reflection though of the tall ship. And here we have the entrance to the tall ship, Glenlee, which is also open from 10 o'clock and is also free admission. Wow, that would be superb if we're here a bit later on, Otis, and able to visit. I'll just quickly go by the boards. So Glenlee has survived 2 world wars, the notorious Cape Horn hurricanes and threats of scrapping. Restored as a visitor attraction, she is the only big Clyde-built sailing ship still afloat in the UK. Beautiful. And on the 3rd of December, like her sister ship, she was built by Anderson Roger. She takes her name from a villa in Port Glasgow. She was renamed Islamount 3 years later. And that was 1896. Over to 1912. Captain Richard Owens takes the ship around the Cape of Good Hope enduring a 10-day winter storm. He is the longest surviving captain, spending almost 11 years in command. Over to 1919. Islamount, formerly the Glenlee, makes her last voyage under the Red Ensign, the flag of the British Merchant Navy. She has circumnavigated the world 4 times and spent more than 5,000 days at sea. Wow. And then in 1922, the Spanish Navy purchased the ship as a training vessel and renames her the Galatea, a sea nymph from the Greek mythology. In 1959, Galatea embarks on her first seagoing voyage underneath the Spanish flag. And 1992, the Clyde Maritime Trust purchased Galatee for £40,000, and she has finally returned to the Clyde, where she is given her original name, and work begins on her restoration. Look at the state of her when she arrived back at Glasgow, and look at the glorious ship now. Wow, some work has undergone there. And up to 1999, the Glenlee is towed to Greenock to welcome the Cutty Sark Tall Ship Race. And up to 2011, which is the final plaque, and this is the final leg of the journey. Is the Glenlee is towed to her current berth at the Riverside Museum. And at that, this is our final leg of the journey for Glasgow this time. So it's an I can say cheerio. Hope you've enjoyed walking with us all the way through the history of Glasgow, right the way from the chain bridge, suspension bridge, right the way down there at number 10. And here we are, well past number 1, and at the Riverside Museum. All the best, cheerio, catch you next time, bye.